The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
You know, out in Nevada near the silver mines, there's a kind-hearted woman. She's looking so fine, always taking care of her community. Bringing folks together is her cup of tea. She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's about town, Deb.
And welcome to this week's episode of City Talk. And I am About Town Deb, W. McCarthy, your host. I am here today with a guest host, Mike Owen, El Dorado Hills, Cameron Park, all over the place, Camino. You're like a rock star all over in that whole region.
Well, I think I like cities and towns, so I'll go anywhere that people want to have a sip of wine.
I think you're doing pretty good at that. So Mike has been a regular on the show, since all my other shows, over 8 years ago. So he's a pro. He knows what to do. When we talk about wine and we talk about the Sierra foothills, Mike is like the best person to have on as a co-host because he knows his stuff. And we're also, I'm very honored today because we got some pretty important women on with us today. We have Mary Ann McAlea. Did I say that right?
You did.
Awesome. And we have Coleen. I may need help with Colleen's last name. Coleen, can you say your last name for me?
Schwietert.
Schwietert. Wow. Well, That is a pretty cool name. So you guys, I am so happy to have you with us. You're with the Greater Folsom Partnership, and we're going to be talking about the Wine Fest. So before we get to that, we always want to thank our sponsors, because without sponsors, we couldn't have a show. So Wild River Grille is where we are right now, Reno, Nevada, right on the river. Amazing restaurant. They're one of my sponsors. I've been here quite often doing the show. So you're going to hear dishes. You're going to hear all kinds of stuff because we are live.
Let's toast them.
We're going to toast Wild River Grille really quick. You guys got some
wine dinner tonight.
So hold on. So GratisGives Processing, Holland Wrye Plastic Surgeons, Rail City Casino, and Kim Surratt Law Practice has been with me since the very beginning. So thank you guys for that. FenixMedia.us. Without Christian, the man behind the screen, we wouldn't be here either. Caliber Hair and Makeup, that does all my makeup. And Dee James, who is in your neck of the woods, guys. He plays a lot of music at a lot of local venues. So Dee James came up with my little, my ditty.
It's a ditty.
My ditty. It kind of sounds weird, my ditty. I don't know about like my daddy.
When you're there.
I got a ditty. Okay, I got a ditty. So
You've arrived.
I've arrived. I have a theme song. It's pretty cool. But you know what? Without our family and our friends, we couldn't even be doing any show, and we couldn't be sharing all the cool things that's happening right over the hill in Folsom, which, oh my gosh. You have a tasting room in Folsom too as well.
That's right. My gorgeous honey, Melissa, runs a tasting room down there Thursday to Sundays.
Yeah.
And it's been really good. Her family is from Folsom.
That's even better.
This is kind of a Back to the Future thing to go back onto Sutter Street and be able to share product there, and people don't have to drive so much.
Yeah, well, I tell you, until I was starting to go over the hill a lot for the wine tasting, I had no idea that Folsom had so much charm and history and just fun.
And Johnny Cash.
I was going to say that for later. I Googled it and I saw what the heck is Johnny Cash? We'll talk about that later. So before we go to break, we usually say how our week went. And you know what? I keep thinking today is Sunday, or it's like only Tuesday because we record on Tuesday, but when you're watching it, it'll be Wednesday. But last night, you were with us last night. We were at a private wine tasting event for Toll Brothers at the Regency Carmela.
It's a really cool spot.
Oh my gosh.
In South Reno, and they have a second story that we were tasting from, and you could see the entire north sweep of the valley in Reno. It's just enough on this knoll.
Oh.
And what a really cool place. A very comfortable Monday night.
Yeah, well, it was actually, they were early birds. We started at 3:00.
Yeah, happy hour starts early.
Happy hour was at 3:00. So 3 to 6 o'clock. We had jazz, we had artists, we had wine. It was so much fun, and they were such great hosts. We really enjoyed it. So I love that we're being invited to do more private events.
I'm going to mention to you right there that Toll Brothers is actually building a premier active adult community south of Highway 50 in the Folsom Ranch area here in Folsom. And it's one of their first adult living communities. And they're going to have all kinds of great amenities, trails within the complex, all different floor plans. And they're also having a vending machine for wine to go. So these people are serious.
Are you serious? Can you do that? So are they like wines in little bottles?
It's like a convenience store, but it's not staffed. So you just use the vending machine like you would at a self-serve location. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Grab your wine and take your bike and go for a picnic.
You know what? I love every time we do a show, we always seem like we have another connection. Like I'm talking about Toll Brothers, and now you guys have one. And the one we were at was a 55 plus too. And they have tons of events for their community members, but we're hoping to go back. I'm sure we'll be doing more there.
And there's another tie there too as well, Marianne. The folks at Revel who are sponsoring the Foothill Wine Festival brought some folks. They're building a place at Reno, and so they converged their two groups, and we did a tour at the winery with them.
Oh,
and
it's
so
right.
we meet Alicia. You'll get to meet her this weekend. She's a really nice lady. So yeah, that seems to be a theme already on this show. Old people.
Oh, stop it. We're not old people. We're amazing people. Just because some of us are 55.
Get the language right. Active adults. Not old people.
So, yeah. Anyway, so we that was pretty cool. And then we are wine dinner, Wild River Grille. We pretty much sold out. I think our max was 45. It's really, we want to be between 40 and 45. We hit 40, and we have a few spots that if we want to add a little bit more.
I get seconds.
I want seconds. Their food at Wild River Grille is amazing. And then on Wednesday, we'll be at Urban Market, which will be tonight when you're watching it. We're doing charcuterie and wine pairing. And then on Thursday, Jazzy George and I are going to be at Caliber Hair and Makeup doing a tasting, and then Holland Rye's holiday party. And then we're heading over the hill to Folsom, which I'm so excited is why we're having the show today. So with that said, that was a good legway, whatever. Segue. I don't know. I think I'm kind of wined out. We've been working hard.
Right,
so we're gonna take a break. When we come back, it is all about the Foothill Wine Fest. So hang tight. We'll be right back.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate up to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to GratisGives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to GratisGives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting GratisGives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the new Rail City Casino. Play over 40 new hot penny slots, plus double down during the Party at the Pit Blackjack every Thursday through Saturday from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. And join us for Bingo After Dark every Thursday through Saturday night for your chance to win up to $1,000 cash. When you've worked up an appetite, visit the new Ale House for delicious specials to tantalize your taste buds. Visit the new Rail City Casino today. New slots, new games, and more chances to win.
After having my child, I was just thinking that I wanted to kind of get back to the size I was when I was breastfeeding. When I first came in, I didn't know if I wanted to go under or over, or what size I wanted. I feel like they really took the time to educate me on all of my options. I've had a bunch of different questions. Paul himself has called and checked in with me. I was really expecting to be in a lot more pain than I was. It was a lot more pleasant than I was expecting it to be.
We can do this together!
All right,
right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't.
Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town. This is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk. As you've heard, I'm About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy, your host. We are at Wild River Grille in Reno, Nevada. We like to take the show on the road. And maybe one of these days we're going to be in Folsom for a show. That could be interesting, too. I like that. So before I continue on, I want to give a huge shout out to Northern Nevada Children's Cancer Foundation, because all the events that we're doing this week, we're having amazing raffles. And the raffles are all going to be benefiting Northern Nevada Children's Cancer Foundation, as well as when you purchase a bottle of About Town Deb wine from the tasting room or online at Crystal Basin. $1 of every bottle goes to the Cancer Foundation. And between now and February 4th, the William N. Pennington Foundation is doubling it. So $2 of every bottle between now and February will go to them. My goal is 5,000. I got a text today from them, and I think I'm at 2,400 something.
Halfway.
I'm halfway there, and I have till February 4th, so I'm really excited about it. So the more wine you buy from Crystal Basin, the more money you're going to be giving to the Children's Cancer Foundation. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike, and because that's kind of his turf over on the hill, and we're gonna chat with the girls and find out a little bit about the history of Folsom and the Wine Fest. So, yeah. Mike, take it on.
Yeah, Marianne, the wine is more new than the city itself. Give us some scoop on the city.
Well, Folsom is kind of doesn't really meet the definition of an urban center, and it's not really rural either. It's actually geographically right on the border between El Dorado and Sacramento counties, and it has characteristics of both, which is, I think, part of the appeal. There's incredible outdoor lifestyle here. We have 2 lakes. We have 60 plus miles of Class 1 bike trails. It's so easy to access, an incredibly beautiful and fun outdoor experience, but we also have enough development here that we have a lot of amenities. So we have plentiful shopping, plentiful dining, and we have, I think, a lot of balance in the lifestyle that makes it really appealing. And of course, the fact that we are, in some cases, only a 30-minute drive from Sierra foothills and incredible wines is an incredible advantage that I think a lot of the goal of this event is to keep educating all these new people who've moved into this region about what an incredible opportunity really is up the hill. But Folsom has changed a lot in the, particularly in the last 25 years. A lot of that is because of the arrival of Intel. So Folsom, because of Intel and because of all the tech businesses that came out of that Intel culture, has become a tech hub for the region, and will be an anchor for a huge growth in private employment along the Highway 50 corridor. So Folsom has a lot of appeal to all those people who are now not tethered to having to live next to if they're in the Bay Area, as an example, and they had no flexibility before. Now they have a lot of flexibility about where they're going to live. So Folsom is really an obvious option that makes a lot of sense. The school systems are top notch. There's a lot of factors here that influence someone's decision when they're thinking about where they want to relocate. And we think that the lifestyle, the quality of life here is the number one reason that people relocate here. It's the number one reason businesses relocate here, because They find that they can recruit people to work for them more easily, which right now in this market is golden because everybody's looking for an advantage to attract and retain talent. So the quality of life here is a big contributing factor that makes people want to consider bringing their families to live here. So Folsom has got a lot of great gold rush history, you know, just like our neighbors along the Highway 49 corridor. But Folsom was really defined because of the railroad. And we actually are talking to you today from the original train depot. And this was the end of the line during the gold rush. And today it's the end of the line for regional transit that operates into Sacramento. But the gold miners used to be in our building loading up their carts to go to Coloma. So even back then, we had a commerce connection to El Dorado County. We were the providers of all the supplies that the gold miners were using. And then, of course, much later, 1968, was the infamous Johnny Cash concert here. And a lot of people have incorrect assumptions about that. They thought he was incarcerated here. He was not. He had a passion for what he thought was the everyman, the people that weren't being well represented. And he wanted to use his music as a platform to draw attention. And so he scheduled this concert at Folsom Prison. We have iconic photos from that trip. June Carter Cash is decked out in furs, and it's just vintage 60s, great stuff. But at the point that he came here to perform, his career was actually in somewhat of a downturn. The concert he did and the album that was recorded from that concert absolutely turned his career around. And if you talk to his family members today, they will all say that Johnny Cash live at Folsom Prison was the turning point in his career that really, and he went on after that to perform at San Quentin and other places. But he, the kitchen area, dining hall where he performed, you can still see today if you're lucky enough to get a tour on the inside. And it's really so attached to Johnny Cash that I think for most people that live in Folsom, no matter where you travel in the world, when you show your passport, somebody at a counter is going to look at you and say, Johnny Cash, because they just
oh my God.
So as a result, the city of Folsom several years ago embarked on a project to create a section of trail and some art installations that would pay tribute to the Johnny Cash message. So we've completed a trail, and in the next 10 years, there will hopefully be some additional art that's installed. That's an interpretation of some of Johnny's songs. And more than ever, Folsom will continue to be synonymous with the spirit of Johnny Cash. So we're very proud of it.
That is so, I had no idea. You guys have a lot of cool things in the history. But you know what I like, I have been, I'm not a great outdoors woman, but I have been on Folsom Lake quite a bit, and I love the lake. I love to go paddleboarding. I've done some. I've never stood up on a paddleboard. I'm just being honest, but I like.
You're not on the paddleboard. Stand up, actually. It's not a requirement. Yeah. You can have tons of fun without doing that. But we have two lakes here. Folsom Lake is more for power boating, fishing, jet skis, etc. Lake Natoma, which is very near our office here,
that's the one I was at.
Lake. Yeah. So no engines on that lake. It's all either kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, which of course in the last 5 years has exploded as a sport. So sometimes in the summer, when you cross over one of those bridges and look out at the lake, it looks like a watercolor painting because there's just colorful boards all over the water, and people love the whole energy of being out and looking at Folsom from the perspective of the water. So it's also adjacent to the historic district here, which I'm sure Mike was mentioning. His wine tasting room is in historic Folsom on Sutter Street, which is a big destination for a lot of people because it's got fun small stores, restaurants, nightlife, and some great wine tasting rooms.
And great music. You guys have taken up the music a lot. I love to be down there, and there's sometimes I've gone where they've closed off the street, and when you're there, there's music playing at a lot of the venues, and people are outside kind of dancing and strolling, and there's so many kids and parents with the strollers. It's really a family community. I really like that part of it.
Well, actually, you hit the nail on the head because for a period over the last 3 to 4 years, Folsom was ranked the #1 place in California to raise a family.
Wow.
Based on schools, safety, lifestyle, amenities that were available, jobs available, all the things that are really important for families that want to, provide a great lifestyle for everybody.
Well, I love that.
You've got a good example right there. Isn't Coleen a Folsom native?
I am. Yep, we moved here in 1970 and lived here until my husband Randy and I got married, and we moved to Cameron Park. Mm-hmm. So I'm a product of all the Folsom schools and Sac State. So I don't know how good that is, but
it's amazing how many local people come back here. And I think, like Coleen said, I mean, there's an attachment. And I think the reason for that, Deb, is because Folsom's now about 75,000 people, give or take. But there is, even with that size, there's still a very strong sense of community here. And which is that feeling of community, there's still that hometown feel in spite of its size. And that's a big attraction because everybody wants to have that, right? It's like a Hallmark movie comes to them. We even have a skating rink, I mean, really, it looks like a set of Hallmark movie in December.
Oh, I love that. So, I love it. So, before we go to break, I want to ask Coleen, what is your favorite memory living in Folsom?
I will have to say probably going to the Folsom Zoo and the rodeo.
Oh, that's right. You have a rodeo too.
We have a big rodeo.
I love
that. And the fireworks. It was a lot of fun growing up in Folsom. Basically, rode our bikes everywhere.
Well, I could remember a time when we all did that. No matter where we lived, being on your bikes was a big deal. But as if I remember, you guys have lots of trails. So that would mean you would have lots of road biking as well, or mountain biking. So that's another.
Yeah. The bike trail actually has a mountain biking trail right next to it. You can ride either on the road or off the road, off the trail, on the trail. So, yeah.
So did you say wine trail?
No, I said we could go. I wish if we could.
You've been going to too many wine events, Deb.
No, the bike trail, not the wine trail.
What? I thought you said wine trail.
No. You hear what you want to hear.
I hear what I want to hear. Okay, well, with that hearing what I want to hear, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to go into the history of this amazing new festival and how you guys got started with it and getting ready for this weekend. So I'm About Town Deb with City Talk. We'll be right back. We're at Wild River Grille with Mike Owen and the amazing gals with Folsom. Be right back.
Stay tuned.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate a buck to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to GratisGives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to GratisGives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting GratisGives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m. and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the new Rail City Casino. Play over 40 new hot penny slots, plus double down during the Party at the Pit Blackjack every Thursday through Saturday from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. And join us for Bingo After Dark every Thursday through Saturday night for your chance to win up to $1,000 cash. When you've worked up an appetite, visit the new Ale House for delicious specials to tantalize your taste buds. Visit the new Rail City Casino today. New slots, new games, and more chances to win.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
That's what she said. Come on, let's have some fun with About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk. I am About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy, your host. I am at Wild River Grille in Reno, Nevada. Love being here. Amazing food, amazing beverages, and they do make mocktails, just so you know. At some point, this could be a mocktail. Just saying, it might be, could be, maybe not. But just saying. So I am happy to be here with Mike Owen. He's been a guest many times, and a co-host as well many times. And we're honored to have two amazing women who are doing great things in Folsom. And we have Mary Ann and we have Coleen. And we're going to be talking about the Foothill Wine Festival. Who does not like a wine festival? But before we get to the festival, I'm going to do a quick quote. I always do a quote, and I always say hi to, if you've watched a while, I say hi to Grandma B and Aunt Glenda. Well, Aunt Glenda is now watching from above. So I just so used to saying it. So I'm always going to say hi to you, Aunt Glenda. So here's the quote. Peace begins with a smile. Mother Teresa. And I feel like really a smile says it all. You can have a horrible day and somebody gives you a smile and you just can't help but to kind of like put your shoulders down just a little bit. So I want to know, how will your smile, if you're listening, brighten somebody's day? And remember to let your heart shine bright. As we know, together, we can brighten the world one smile at a time. So it's really important to me. I have my whole campaign, Together We're One Heart. And I think your heart is part of your smile. And I know not every day we can be perky and smile, but we need to be able to, kind of just take a deep breath and have grace with ourselves. So that's my touchy-feely for the show. I always got to have my quote. So, Mike, I'm going to hand it over to you, and let's talk about this festival.
Let's talk about wine.
Talk about wine.
Well, Mary Ann gave a really great list of reasons to be in Folsom and why it's a great place to live and quality of life. And I'll argue that quality of life includes wine. And so it was a natural central point to have the Foothill wineries come together. You're seeing so many people move in from out of the area, and Folsom has a very large development of houses. Maybe 11,000 houses are going in south of Highway 50. And a lot of those folks don't know what amenities are really around. And for wine folks, they're patterned to go to other places that may sound like Napa and Sonoma and Lodi, and those are just competing regions. We want to help them understand that there's some super high quality choices real close.
Oh yeah.
So this is macro marketing, and if we get people out on the road understanding that their options have broadened, then everybody's boat floats, and that's good economic development stuff. And so I was talking with Mary Ann and Coleen's boss, Joe Gallardi, and we were talking about Folsom's slogan that they use, which is Gateway to Wine Country. And so the way that we said, all right, where's the muscle behind the meat on that? And we put this idea together for this Foothill Wine Festival. Coleen was involved from pretty early on and did incredible yeoman's work driving around to wineries. And
that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work and dedication.
Yeah. And ultimately, we
ended just up my arm.
No suffering on that route.
Right.
But 70 wineries and 399 wines to be exact. I say 400 because it rounds up.
Right.
But it was really heartening to see the size of that competition show up early, which means that the producers want it. And we were able to get some all-star judges together who believed in that it was the right thing to do to kind of regionalize the California foothills. And then we had a phenomenal facility to do it because of happenstance, and the Folsom Partnership had a building, the old grade school right down in Old Town Folsom that worked well for us. And so this was all, mind you, during the COVID mess.
I know.
And so you had to convince people that it was going to happen at all anyway. And so the getting to here is an awesome thing. Getting 56 wineries to say, I'm not just going to put wine in and check the results, but I'm going to show up and market to people. Because I've been saying, if you watch the Good Mornings or Good Day Sacramento clip, it's a way to try a bunch of different wines from a bunch of different places without driving a bunch of squiggly roads.
Well, I'm going to chime in a little bit because for us over the hill, the Reno, Carson, Tahoe crew, a lot of us years back when I would say I'm going wine tasting, they assumed I was going to Napa. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to the Sierra Foothills, El Dorado County. And now they know that. It's taken 8 years to get people to realize that it's only, for me, 2 hours and 20 minutes away. And to be able to have that many wineries, and I had no idea there were other regions besides the three, our little area. I looked at your map. You guys pulled in wines from how many other places too? So share a little bit about that. Where else besides the areas that we know here?
So we actually pulled wines in from Tuolumne. There's 3 wineries there, and 2 of the 3 are pouring at our event. And then we have Calaveras County. We have 2 wineries pouring from there. And then all the way up to Nevada County, we have 3 wineries pulling from there. So we really want to expand those regions next year to get them more involved. Placer County is on board. Their wine region manager, she is really going to be pushing that to help with bringing in more Placer County wines as well. So, and they're all on board and they're very excited about this event. And so it's nice to see some other regions besides the ones that we all know, Amador and El Dorado. But to have these other regions pouring at our event, it's going to open up eyes for people to, so they can go up to those areas.
So Deb, and listening to what Mike's background, I will tell you, I've been doing tourism marketing for 18 years in this region. And I thought from the very first moment I arrived and went to a winery here that this was an experience that other people would love to have. But what I recognized after I did it for a while was that actually there was just a lack of understanding in the bigger marketplace about the value proposition that was available so close by. And a certain amount of unwarranted snobbery, if you want to call it that, where people felt that good wines came from Napa and Sonoma and everything else was just a wannabe. And it took a while, and I think a lot of hard work on the part of people like Mike and Coleen and others who've been out there doing the real heavy lifting and talking to wineries and building rapport. It took a while for there to be a real collective education process going on where people started seeing these wines win awards. They are going to learn a lot more because it's a different experience and it's a high caliber experience. They're going to meet a winemaker. They're going to get a personal recommendation. It's like having a concierge experience at a winery, and that's not the same experience that you're having in a large, more commercially developed winery. So there's nothing wrong with the experience. Obviously, Napa and Sonoma put wine tasting on the map, and we all acknowledge that. But this experience is very rich as far as the kind of experience that people want to have right now. And it's also very COVID friendly because in many cases, these are not crowded wineries. You do have that experience to appreciate nature, you're outdoors. So I think we are really confident that doing more events like this one will start to turn the tide where people will understand why this is such a desirable experience and exactly how good the wine is. So even if you are somebody who's very discriminating in your wine choices, you're going to find something here that you're going to love. And here's the last piece I'll mention. We're getting ready to go to the end of the month and it's going to be about shopping small. Well, what we want people to remember is that shopping small includes wineries. Those people are operating a small business. And maybe more important thing is for people that have been shopping lately in big box stores or grocery stores, you're starting to notice product missing. You can't get all the choices you want. But when you go to the winery and you're buying from the source, you have that opportunity. So we think there's never been a better time to create relationships with the small business wineries that you come to enjoy, and really putting them on the map as far as having people view them differently than they have. This is not a second class effort that's going on in the Sierra Foothills. This is a premier effort. And so we are really looking to promote that message a lot through this event.
And I think there was a point that I haven't really thought too much about because I'm too close to it, Marianne. You mentioned COVID just for a moment, and I hate to dwell on that along those lines, but it is an outdoor function, but it's covered. So it's in the parking garage at the Palladio, which allows people to be really well spread out. Bring a sweater, but for the folks who maybe would have pause because of being in an enclosed space, don't necessarily have to have that as one of their blocks to make an decision.
It's true, Mike. This is kind of the best of both, really. And we have fire pits. Yeah. So we have ambiance, and we have a very COVID-friendly environment. So I think that all of that's a big plus. And the environment at Palladio, which I think you might have already mentioned, Deb, but it's a shopping and dining hub, and it's got a beautiful setting. It'll be very festive. I mean, to me, this weekend is when most people kick off their holiday zone. This is it, right? We're sliding right into Thanksgiving and then into December. And so this is a very fun event to get that started.
And not to mention,
I can't imagine anything. Nothing would be more fun, guys, than to go wine tasting for 3 hours and then do some Christmas shopping.
Right. And the wineries are actually bringing specials as well. So, to get your holiday shopping done, because there's no shortage of wine in the foothills.
I know, but for me, it's almost time for break. So when we do come back, let's talk about the actual event, where it is,
and the
giveaway. We got the giveaway. We have an amazing giveaway. If you're listening or you follow About Town Deb, you're going to get a chance to win the weekend there. A one-night stay. It's a $500 value. You get the tickets. You're going to get $100 to go shopping with. And who doesn't want to go shopping? There's a lot more we're going to talk about. So it's About Town Deb with City Talk, Mike Owen, and Amazing Pals from the Greater Folsom Partnership. Be right back. About Town Deb with City Talk.
After having my child, I was just thinking that I wanted to kind of get back to the size I was when I was breastfeeding. When I first came in, I didn't know if I wanted to go under or over, what size I wanted. I feel like they really took the time to educate me on all of my options. I've had a bunch of different questions. Paul himself has called and checked in with me. I was really expecting to be in a lot more pain than I was. It was a lot more pleasant than I was expecting it to be.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So Mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST, F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
Help from her toes to her head. Just give her a shout. Call About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town. This is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now back to the show.
So welcome back to City Talk. I'm About Town Debbie McCarthy. We're at Wild River Grille, Reno, Nevada. Amazing restaurant right on the Riverwalk. Beautiful lights are up at night. We're actually having a wine dinner here tonight, so I'm really excited. Crystal Basin wine, and we're going to be having my About Town Deb red blend. So don't forget, $2 of every bottle if you order it online or in the tasting room goes to Northern Nevada Children's Cancer Foundation. So I told you we're going to basically let's all talk about the festival. This is like a big deal. 56 wineries from all over your region. So if you're at Reno, Carson, Sparks, Sacramento, anywhere listening, you can visit, have a sip, have a sample of each of these tasting rooms. And most of the time, I'm just guessing, don't quote me, you're going to have an owner, a winemaker, a manager. You're going to have a family member. This is the real deal, guys. And when I go to these tasting rooms, you're family. So they're going to bring their living room right to you for this festival. And you're going to get to see them and meet them and take photos and taste their wine. And you're going to get a chance to, if you're out of town, to have an amazing package deal for $250. And I'm going to let the gals talk more about it. But I know, you know me, if I'm going to go over there, I want to stay the night. I want to enjoy the nightlife. I want to enjoy the wine. I want to go shopping. I want to kick off my holiday weekend this weekend, and Jazzy George and I are going. So I'm really excited. So who wants to start out with the nitty gritties and tell us about it?
I can do a little bit, and then Coleen can fill in because she is our wine expert. And as you mentioned, we have an incredible lineup. But this event is going to happen this coming Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. It's at the Palladio. As Mike mentioned, it's an outdoor event, although it will be in the parking garage. So there will be a roof, and that's very helpful. We will have fire pits. The ticket that you purchase includes unlimited tasting of any of the wineries of your choice. It also includes some complimentary small bites that are part of your ticket purchase. And of course, after the event's over, you're in Palladio, which is surrounded by restaurants and food options. So it'd be nice to plan it as an evening out or a shopping opportunity. And the area immediately around Palladio is also very much of our shopping and dining hub. So there's a lot of options there for ticket buyers. We're going to feature some live music, and I think just the environment at Palladio itself is ready to launch the holidays. So it'll be a festive environment. And I think, I don't know how many of your listeners have been to a live event lately, but people are really happy to get back out and see each other and be comfortable and celebrate good things. That's really a nice opportunity. So beyond just the wine tasting is the opportunity to connect with your community and meet new people and have that chance to have that conversation with the winemaker, because haven't we all missed that, when we were sitting in our living rooms waiting for this to be over.
It's a very reasonable price, $65, right? For one And is it how much for a couple?
Ticket or $110 for a couple. $110 for a couple. So yeah,
well, think about that. That is incredible, and the small bites and the music, and just being able to be with your family and friends and share stories again, and just talk about the holidays and talk about something positive. So I'm excited about that.
So I think another thing to
tickets are at Foothill Wine Fest. FoothillWinefest.com, Deb, is the tickets. Yeah. I'll also, one last thing, and then I'll turn it to you, Mike, is that we also have lodging packages on that website.
Yeah.
So for your guests that are in the Reno market and who want to spend the night, because it's obviously more convenient, possibly a safer option for them, we have hotel packages that include 2 tickets, a bottle of wine, and a $25 Palladio gift card when you book a room package. And those links are available on that FoothillWinefest.com page. That's an incredible value.
It's an amazing value.
It would be cool to do an Amtrak special for the folks in Reno, because they could get most of the way there on Amtrak and Uber it over. There's some really interesting options there.
Well, you know what? Next year we can plan a whole adventure. We could do a whole trip, an Amtrak trip. No, we can actually do get 20 people together and have an exclusive package where either we take a limo. I don't know. We can figure something out. But I love that idea of doing an actual event, like 25 people or 2 buses of 25, and bring people over the hill for the first shopping of the season.
Well, you mentioned next year. I think that's super important. This year was really disjointed because of COVID, and the way that this was concepted with Joe and Marianne and I sitting when we first were getting this idea crystallized, it was to have the tasting event or the judging in March, and then the public event in April. Well, we all know what happened to plans during COVID. You didn't end up doing what you thought you were going to do, but you never gave up. And I think because no one ever gave up on this effort during some stops and starts, here we are. Next year, when we set this Amtrak thing up or work on that idea, we're going to have a March judging event and an April public event. And then what that's really set up to do, back to the macro marketing idea, is to give people a launching pad to go to Behind the Cellar Door in Amador County, or to go to Passport in El Dorado County. And it's create that curiosity and then give it a way to be satiated.
No, I love it. I love that. So the event, we haven't mentioned the times. It is from 4 to 7. So it's the perfect time. I think it's going to be kind of that romantic holiday-ish, that's getting dark a little earlier. You said the fire pits. For me, I'm just looking forward to getaway. So if you're like me, the Reno Carson Sparks people, we want to get out. We've been crazy busy to get in the car and have a little bit of a drive, go up, have an amazing hotel, and just walk out or Uber and go wine tasting. Go to the restaurants you have are incredible. So do that and come home with your shopping started for the holidays. It's a no-brainer, guys. I'm telling you, I'm going to book it for next year way early, because I didn't really have as much time this year, but I had a lot of people who said, hey, we should plan more groups going. So that's what gave me that idea, is a lot of the girls want to do a girls trip where they can just go for the weekend. So I love that. But again, to win the package, I want to remind you guys, if you go to About Town Deb, you go to Debbie Torres McCarthy, go to my Instagram, anywhere, I will make sure it's pinged up to the top on my Facebook page within the next, it'll be pinged up there. All you got to do, guys, is like our pages. Simple as that. And tag somebody you want to go hang out with. They could be a best friend, a mom or aunt, your honey bunny. I don't care. Tag somebody. Tag 2 people and have them tag people.
2 honey bunnies?
Well, I have lots of best friends. I don't have any honey bunny, but I got a lot of bestie bunnies. Go do that. But and you get $100 to go shopping and your 2 tickets.
$100 bestie bunny?
$100. I don't even know. I'm not even listening to him. I know what I'm trying. I'm just trying to say, guys, hush them up.
Whatever.
This is the place that you want to be this coming weekend. And if somehow you're not able to make this weekend, we will be sure to give you the first dibs of when it's going to be next year. But I'm telling you, this is the perfect weekend getaway before the holidays, before it gets crazy. Give yourself a little bit of a breather to just take a moment, get in your car, go over the hill. Or I have a lot of people who watch from your area, you know what? Just take the afternoon, evening off, get in an Uber, have your besties go, and just enjoy the beautiful Folsom. That shopping area, the first time I walked in it, I got to tell you, I was like a kid. I was like, whoa. I was so excited. I love it. It's like going into a mini, I don't know, Palm Desert. I don't know.
Well, you know, the developer of that space, Harry Elliott, had a vision for that center and actually went to Europe and specifically went to Italy to quarry some of the marble, and a lot of the architectural elements that are present there are things that he imported. And he did that back when the economy was not in good shape, but it was because he wanted to be true to his vision for what that area could look like. And he absolutely delivered a beautiful result. So it's was something we're very proud of. And they have a lot of they have franchises in there, but they also have a lot of small businesses. So it's a nice blend. And and just the piazza, the outdoor areas is very, very nice. So yeah, I think all your listeners will really enjoy the experience.
Oh, I already know they're gonna love it. So give us the website again, please.
www.foothillwinefest.com.
Okay, that's pretty easy to remember. I will have it splashed all over my pages. We're so excited about it. Next week, my show is going to be at Kim Surratt's law office. November is adoption month, and you all know I am adopted, and I have adopted. All right, I did adopt. Either way, it's a big deal to me. I feel like adoption is a great thing. So Grandma B, I got to thank you for the vision and the courage to find an amazing home with Nana and Papa for me. So I always want to thank her, because without her making that decision to do that, I wouldn't be where I am today. So really, adoption is such an important part of who I am. So we're going to be talking to Kim, family law lawyer. We're going to talk about that. And I just want you guys to know that, you know what, enjoy your week ahead. Remember to be kind. Remember to hang out with us at the Wine Fest on Saturday. I'll definitely be there. One other thing, mark on your calendars, December 10th. I don't know if you're local here. There's a brand new theater, and they have a show called Magique. So I'm so excited. So we're going to do a fundraiser there, and a portion of the ticket cost, we're going to have wine and chocolate, courtesy Crystal Basin and Dorinda's. And the proceeds are going to go to Northern Nevada Children's Cancer Foundation, because I want to hit my goal ASAP. So I'm excited about that. So thank you, Mike. I want to thank both you gals. I cannot wait to see you in person. So it's about time to have a city talk.
This was really fun.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Right. Bye, Mike.
Bye.
Saturday.
Guys, Foothill Wine Fest rocks.
Foothill Wine Festival, Saturday, November 20th. We didn't say that. November 20th.
4 to 6.
4 to 6.
www.
www. I don't know.
FoothillWinefest.com.
Foothill Wine.